So 1965 Galaxie 500, and I am going to change the springs and coil, and I got a new obviously spring and then a coilover spring that goes in the center for the hydraulic. So I went ahead and did the other side already just so I can shorten up this video, go through all the complicated parts. But on the top there is this right here. I'm going to loosen that up. Then on the bottom, got these two bolts right there. You take off that, then that just falls out the center. Pop this off for the control arm. Right here. And I'm not taking and redoing all the ball joints right now. I probably will eventually. They're not bad right now, so they just look bad. Once I clean them up, they hold grease and everything still, so there's that. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut in and out of this as I do this. With this particular job, you gotta be pretty careful if you're doing this at home or never done it before. And if you don't own one of these, a spring compressor, do not even bother attempting to do this job. And if you have those spring compressors that go on the outside, which I actually tried those first, they don't work because there's not enough room. So get one of these. It's a lifesaver, honestly. Makes the job a hell of a lot easier. Or you literally can't do it without it, so unless you're He-Man. So I'm gonna cut away right now. I'm gonna unscrew the bolt right here on this bottom ball joint, right there with the pin in it. Then I'm gonna unscrew that one with the pin in it, but I'm only gonna loosen that one up because it helps to drop this. These things tend to like just bounce right out, like when you tap it. I mean, this thing can shoot across the room if you're not careful with the spring tensioned. So that's why you want to like really get that compressor in there and hold it up, and then have a jack under it when you do it at first, so you can just lower it down gently. But anyway, I'll cut back here in a little bit. So I just wanted to cut in a quick video portion here with, I put the clamp inside. It's kind of hard to see, but when I do this, I just literally take the bolt out of the clamp itself and I twist the top portion up just by hand. And then I get that bottom, this one here, I just put that in as well at the very bottom, and then I slip the bolt through and put it in. If you try to do it in one solid piece with the bolt in, it tends to be a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass either way, but you know, it's just kind of one of those things you got to do. Necessary evil. I loosened up these bolts, by the way, as well, right here, and the top ball joints. Now, like I said, these things can get a little dicey and scary, but if you tap on them, they sometimes will just break free, and that's when like the clamp or the spring will like just shoot out or whatever. Now it's, sorry, but yeah, it's this part, like I said, gets really dicey. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this jack up just as a precaution. And sorry guys, I don't have a tripod or anything. If you're watching this, my bad, and I'll get better. I just started this stuff, trying to help people too, because there's not a lot on this particular car whatsoever. So anyway, right here. So this, if you tap on this lower ball joint that I loosened up, sometimes it'll break free, and sometimes it doesn't, but try the other side. to be continued. I'm gonna knock this around a little bit until it breaks free. So this is basically what I got for replacements. This is the old that I just took out. I still got the compressor on it. That's the old hydraulic. Here's the other shock, and here's the new spring. I got new caps for the top, but when I took them out, these other ones that were in there were actually still pretty good. So I'm going to keep those for now and just use these again. That way I have at least a spare. These aren't dry rot or anything. They're pretty good. In here, after I got that separated, the ball joint, which, digging into this more, I got to replace these ball joints on this right side for sure, or passenger side of the car. I had to get a pickle fork to separate it. The other one, when I did the other side, it snapped. It popped right out when you were tapping it, like I was saying earlier. But this is a pickle fork, if you don't know. And all you do is basically slide it in. Hold on, sorry. Slide it under there like that and just hammer it in, and it'll push it out, and then it'll just pop. So, yeah. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just clean. There's like gunk and all kinds of chunks of stuff in here. So I'm gonna clean all this up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove that compressor from there, put it in the new one. And then I'll start picking up the video from there. So I took the compressor off the old spring, put it on the new spring, set it up there in line at top, kind of got the jack ready to start pushing this thing up. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to get this thing in line and then get the ball joint in as well as it gets closer. But, you know, fingers crossed this all works. So, probably get about that height now. There you go. So that's where the ball joint's gonna go back in as you're going up. Ooh, that was a little scary. These things get really goofy, man. They're not hard, but it's not like easy either. When I did the other side, it got all missed the top for some reason. So we're getting close here. Get that thing lined up. Start pumping away again. So that's it. Pop it on there. Line that up. And keep going. There we go. Now you can see it going up inside. All right. Now I just got to twist that thing back around, get it set right. So I'll give you an update shortly. All right, so I was able to get the spring in, bolt tightened up here for the ball joint, top and bottom. As soon as I had that tight all the way, I let the jack out. Then I pulled the clamp, spring clamp out as well, and it's everything's secured and laying perfect, thank God. And now I'm just bolting everything back in. Right now I'm gonna put this in as well. I got this coilover spring, and it just goes up through the center of this one, and then it bolts in here at the top. It's hard to see in there, but anyway, I'll show you real quick. one hand, I'll try to do this. But it goes up in here like this. And there's two bolts that these mount to on the bottom. And then you just gotta find the hole at the top. Somewhere. That must be it. Right there. It's hard to see, but bolt is sticking out. And these should be right there. Here are the bolts. Yep. So that's that. I'm gonna bolt that up, put the tire back on, and I'm done. So yeah, I don't know if that was that helpful. It's hard to hold the camera and do all this stuff. But if you have any questions, leave a comment. I can leave my email. Blah 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 blah. See you later. Yeah, so I left this part off. There's a bag that comes with this for the top of the spring as well. So you're going to want to put this one on first before you slide it up inside there. And you see the thick side with the dots, the 5 dots, and then you got the point. This point, or the small side, is always on the metal. So it's always going onto the spacer because the hole at the top is that size, roughly. So it kind of seats in there when it goes up in there, up in the control arm. So, all right, sorry about that, and there you go.